Have you ever wanted to play a strategy game on tabletop, but you don't have the money for? Maybe you like playing Warhammer, but you also like playing strategy games like Command and Conquer, Halo Wars, StarCraft. So, I'm going to introduce something to you that is dirt cheap, something you can play at home. It's ages for everybody, and you don't have to put a whole bunch of money into. I would like to introduce to you MEN Retaliation. Before this video starts, I would like to thank you for joining. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Like this video if you want to give me support. It helps out a lot. Leave a comment if you have any ideas for what I'm about to tell you. Now, this video is not scripted. This is just me on my own talking to you guys. So, before I officially start, I am Jedi Joe Wolf on YouTube. I do run a gaming channel, but this is my second channel, MEN Retaliation. So I'm going to run down basically what I want to do. So, as of recently, I've been getting into Dungeons & Dragons, and I also have an interest in Warhammer. I don't exactly know how Warhammer works yet, but if you want to explain it to me, link it down below. I don't care. So, it's like, I want to play Warhammer, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to build starter armies, gathering troops, and all this other stuff. Building immersive terrariums so you can battle and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot of money. Money that I don't have. So, the other day, I've been actually thinking about doing this project for a couple months now, but I never really made it public. But for a couple of months, I've been thinking, what if I could make a tabletop strategy game that you don't have to put a whole bunch of money to. You could just play it whenever, wherever. So I'm thinking, MEN really doesn't have a tabletop game. People have, like, made demos, and none of it has really kickstarted. I went on YouTube. I've tried searching tabletop MEN games, and nothing has really been official yet. I know 3DO made the video games, but they've never made an MEN game in the style of Warhammer mixing with real-time strategy games. I'm talking about placing down buildings, resource gathering, managing your economy, abilities, moving your troops, making armies, setting out and doing objectives. I'm talking about all that on one tabletop game. Warhammer does it to an extent. So, to my knowledge, don't correct me if I'm wrong, you place down your units, but before that, you take turns putting down and rendering the map. You know, players take turn putting down pieces and all this other stuff. But, like I said, Warhammer is a lot of money. So it'd be cheaper to use MEN and make an alternate history video game. Not video game, tabletop game, my bad. Like, I'm aware of the MEN video games by 3DO, and real talk, none of them are good except for the PlayStation ones and Sarge's Heroes and all those. So what I want to do, and I've already collected resources for this, and I have one more creator behind me who is going to help me create this game, who I will not mention, but you will see in future videos if I get enough support. But what I want to do is buy buildings, literally treat it like a real-time strategy game. So this is strictly idea talking right now. We're still trying to come up with the rules and all this other stuff. But the way I want to envision it is you put down a building, which is going to be your command building. You have to go down a building tree to, you know, place certain buildings, unlock certain units. So, like, if you can find MEN buildings, you would have a command building. Each player would have one. Then you would build a barracks or a ore refinery. And your ore refinery would come with a harvester. And if a lot of this stuff has came from Amazon. There's if you go on Amazon and search Ender games, they have crystals that I'm going to use for resource gathering. So, like, I would build an ore refinery, and you would put down a harvester, because an ore refinery comes with a free harvester. It's always been like that for strategy games. And you can move your unit, and this is all turn-based, by the way. Like how Warhammer does it, units take a certain amount of inches or centimeters to move per turn. But since I'm doing my own thing, I'm going to have to explain it my way. Buildings would take turns. Like maybe an infantry building, barracks, that would take maybe 1 or 2 turns to deploy. So you would declare that you're building a building right here, and in 2 turns it would deploy. Units are going to take turns to deploy. Moving is going to be ran by inches or centimeters. Battle types, I would like to... What do I mean by battle types? Sorry, I have ADHD. My brain is scatterbrained. There are different attack patterns, like how MMOs do it. Single attack, columns, cones. So, like, a flamethrower could potentially be a cone shape attack range, or a laser. Riflemen would be single targets if they could maybe down a singular lane. Mortar troopers would be AoE, so it would be a circle within a certain radius that hits everything and does certain damage. And then you got an armory, which I would like to deploy, and you'd be able to summon tanks and vehicles. And then you could also look up helipads, where you could put helicopters out. You know, I want to turn it into a real-time strategy game on tabletop. And I have the attack patterns, but right now we're trying to figure out unit numbers, damage numbers, and I'm also introducing a weapon triangle. For example, an infantry unit does normal damage against another Sorry, I gotta be more specific. A rifleman can do regular damage against another rifleman. Maybe a rifleman can do extra damage against bazooka troopers. Bazookas are good against vehicles. But there also has to be restrictions where a tank cannot shoot down a helicopter, so some units are going to be considered untargetable. So yeah, a tank cannot target or shoot down a helicopter. A rifleman should not be able to snipe a freaking helicopter or a jet. Like, balancing issues is what I'm currently working on right now. This is going to be a project that's going to be really big, and it sounds amazing on paper, and I know it will be really good on the actual table itself. But for right now, from what I've been gathering as of resources, everything's been coming from Amazon. You could get Army Men packs, and it's dirt cheap. You can literally get a tote full of Army Men in like a week. You could buy Army Men in bulk. It's infinite plastic. As to Warhammer, you have to carefully select what you want, paint. I mean, I'm not dissing Warhammer at all. I love watching Warhammer videos. I'd rather watch the videos than play the game myself. But if a friend of mine has an army, I'm down to play. But it's not something I would put the money into. You know what I mean? But I like watching it. And I wouldn't mind playing if someone gave me an army and I just came over to someone's house and played. But I also want to introduce game modes like capture the flag, capture the reactor. Like I said, from when I get from stuff that I get from Amazon, I found from Ender Games, I found reactors that I'm going to paint myself. You could either capture them and earn points per turn. I'm still trying to create the economy system right now. We haven't really settled on anything right now, so that's in the works. But on your side of the field, you can summon a reactor, and reactors are used as a requirement to summon another building. Like barracks, they're tents. You don't need like an energy source for tents. Maybe you need 1 reactor to put down an armory. Maybe you need 2 to put down a helipad. Maybe you need 3 to put down a tech building, you know what I mean? Because some real-time strategy games have a power system. It's a lot. My brain's already farting thinking about it, but this is going to be a huge project. And I hope I could get enough support for this. Sooner or later, we're going to run a beta test, which I will record and stream. Probably record, not live stream. I haven't decided yet. And then we're going to do bigger battles. The goal right now is to get a bigger table so I can have a bigger battlefield, because we get paid 3 times this month. So my next objective for what I need are rocks, trees. I have rivers, vinyl rivers that I could place down. And this is also imaginary too. Role playing. You can role play if you want. Green versus tan. And then I have some odd colors that could be civilians or resistances or something. There's just a lot of stuff I really, really want to do with this game. So this is going to be the video that introduces this channel of what I want to do. And hopefully we can see this game and this channel get bigger with enough support. That is all the time I have for today. Consider hitting that sub button to stay updated with my project. Leave comments. Keep me updated. If you got any ideas on how to improve the game, let me know. I talk to everybody. I read every comment. I don't care who I talk to. Put it down there. I like to talk to people. And I will see y'all in the next video. And until then, see you later, Commander.